Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning, and thanks for kicking off your Wednesday with us. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Louis Stewart. Hopefully having a good start to your Wednesday, halfway through the work week, Justine. And man, this week's been pretty nice as far as the weather goes.
It's been beautiful. Nice afternoons, evenings to get outside a bit.
Yeah, spent all day yesterday getting the leaves up in the yard.
Get it done.
Yeah, get it done. And you know what? I probably did it for nothing because the winds are going to pick up today. So all the leaves I moved are probably going to blow right back in this afternoon. But yeah, keep that in mind. It is going to be nice again today. However, those winds are going to pick up. So another thing, we're going to have a day of elevated fire danger. Let's not do any burning today. We have that red flag warning in place for the eastern part of the state. No red flag warning for western Montana, but with low relative humidities and winds, any fires that do kick up could get going pretty quick. So let's just try to keep that burning. Not any burning today, and then we're going to see some more cooler weather roll in by next week. Moving in a little bit closer, yeah, we do have that wind advisory for parts of Phillipsburg and there in Butte. Could get those winds gusts around 40 miles per hour in that area this afternoon. Temperatures today, Missoula 59, 58 Kalispell, 62 Hamilton, 59 in Polson.
Philosophical arguments are often at the center of any local election, but there are a few races which illustrate such sharply different viewpoints as the current race for Missoula mayor. Whether it's taxes, economic development, or street repair, John Engen and Lisa Tripke have viewpoints in common. MTN's Dennis Bragg has more.
With taxes climbing in Missoula, it's been no surprise that taxation would emerge as a central debate point as Engen seeks a fourth term against Tripke, who feels the city's become a hostile place for taxpayers and business alike.
We're in the middle of the road in terms of the state. And one of the things I try to remind folks is that the city of Missoula is roughly a third of your tax bill. The rest is county and schools. In fact, the lion's share is schools. We work pretty diligently every day to make sure that the investment that we ask folks to make in our community through taxes is used effectively.
I think we need to look at budgeting differently. We need to look at not having a cash cow, but being able to look at the budget in terms of present numbers or actually coming in with reduced numbers, trying to return some of the taxes back to the citizens. The housing values are skyrocketing, so that has had a part in the increasing. But if we come to the table with maintaining as we are or a reduced budget by looking at eliminating waste or covering gaps of duplicate services, then we can make a difference.
Of course, the lifeblood of any city is revenue, but the heartbeat is really economic development, jobs, and new investment. Engen points proudly at new businesses like downtown hotels and banks and residential development. Tripke says we should follow Bozeman's lead by crafting a plan to attract specific business.
What we've heard again is people trying to start businesses or bring their businesses here are encountering roadblocks and struggles getting through City Hall to start their business. What's actually fascinating with Bozeman is in looking at their economic industry document, they court certain industry businesses and then try to figure out they identify industry businesses and then court them to come in to Bozeman with jobs that are high paying and quality compensation.
All of that is an indication of folks' confidence in our economy, in the quality of our place. So there are more people living and working in Missoula today. There's more development activity than there's been in my entire lifetime in Missoula, and I don't see an end to that.
Absentee ballots for the race were mailed last week. In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
Tonight on KPAX, we will hear from both candidates on the condition of Missoula streets and public safety, and you can view our questions for candidates in their entirety on KPAX.com. A Frenchtown music teacher accused of fondling and attempting to kiss one of his female students and now charged with sexual assault. The teacher is on leave from Frenchtown schools indefinitely. Troy Basher faces a charge of misdemeanor sexual assault. Frenchtown school leaders say he is on leave with pay indefinitely. Superintendent Randy Klein says he will not perform any duties on behalf of the Frenchtown School District. In court documents, the Missoula County Sheriff's Office was notified by the Child Abuse Hotline on January 1st that they had information a Frenchtown High School student had been sexually abused by a teacher, Troy Basher. The 16-year-old student reported to a Missoula Sheriff Lieutenant that she was one of Basher's aides. The student reported several incidents in which Basher inappropriately touched her after school. He has denied all of these allegations. His initial appearance will be November 14th in Missoula Justice Court. The mother whose son died from a lethal combination of drugs while he was a patient of a former Bitterroot doctor fighting back tears as she delivered heartbreaking testimony on the witness stand. Dr. Chris Christensen, who is charged with 2 counts of negligent homicide, along with 20 other felonies. Sharon Griffin says her son had struggled with substance abuse for many years, but had been taking medications to help him mitigate and get off opioids. She described the horror of finding her son after he died.
No response at all. And I shook him, still no response. And pretty soon I opened up his eyelid and I yelled at him, just Greg, Greg. And so then I called 911.
Also in the courtroom, both the prosecution and the defense disputed how prescription drugs should be administered. The jury listened to a Missoula pharmacist explain how prescription drugs work and why some should not be combined. One of the prosecution's points concerns accusations that Christensen did not keep good medical charts for his patients. They say those charts are necessary to prescribe the right mix of medications for patients who may have a variety of medical conditions.
Is it quality of life for that individual? Is it functionality? And so reaching those objectives in order to potentially reach that end goal, I think, is very important because it puts everybody on the same page.
Defense attorney Joss Vanderwetter has responded that Christensen did not need detailed charts because they are mainly used by physicians for insurance purposes, and Christensen's practice did not accept insurance. Christensen's trial continues on Thursday. Are you ready to shell out twice the money to visit Glacier National Park during the summer season? That's in a proposal announced for several popular parks by the National Park Service. The proposal calls for peak season entrance fees to be established at 17 national parks, including Glacier and Yellowstone. The fees would be double the current price to visit Glacier. The agency says the money would be used to target the aging infrastructure, including roads, bridges, campgrounds, water lines, bathrooms, and other visitor services. If approved during peak season, the entrance fee would be $70 per private vehicle. Currently, it only costs $30 to enter Glacier. A public comment period on the proposal runs until November 23rd. For specific information on fee increases and where you can submit public comment, go to our website at KPAX.com. And the Los Angeles Dodgers have taken Game 1 of the World Series. The Dodgers beat the Houston Astros 3-1 at Dodger Stadium last night, despite the record heat. Game 2 takes place in sweltering Los Angeles again today. All right, time for your weather on the 8s now. Lewis has the latest.
All right, thank you, Justine. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, temperatures in the 90s, 100s for the World Series. Supposed to be the Fall Classic. None feel anything like fall there. Hopefully they'll start to get some cooler weather roll in, and it looks like we're going to see that roll in next week. So we'll talk more about that here in a minute. First, though, I have a couple pictures that I want to show for you. How about this one sent in to us by Cindy yesterday there at Logic Canyon? Beautiful picture right here. Oh, I love it, Cindy. Thank you so much for this one. And then how about the sunset last night at Polson Bay by Terry? Terry, thank you so much for this fantastic photo. We've gotten a lot of good ones. We'll continue to look at these photos as we roll throughout the morning here. Now, it is a chilly start to the day, so yes, grab those jackets before you head out the door. 20s and lower 30s. We are seeing some frost on the windshield. Maybe give yourself a little extra time. Start that car up, get out early to scrape off the window because we are seeing frost, but then by this afternoon, much like yesterday, we're going to warm it up into the 50s and lower 60s. So what I want to do now is time out what we can expect as far as your weather goes, because it's going to be pretty mild for the next several days, then much cooler as we roll into next week. And to see this, we're going to go to the jet stream. Here's this ridge of high pressure, 50s and 60s once again this afternoon. Now, notice as that cold front moves through, just a little dip of cold air moves in for tomorrow. Thursday, we're stopping this at 2 p.m. Notice how the center of this low, most of that cold air is going to be off to the east of us. So after a quick cool down tomorrow, we're going to warm it right back up as we roll into the weekend as another ridge forms. 50s and 60s again as we push into Saturday and Sunday. Now next week, the beginning of next week, we're going to start to see a change. This jet stream's going to move further south. Monday, notice cooler temperatures beginning to push in. Then it looks like by the middle and end of next week, we could get some really cool temperatures with actually highs only in the 30s and lower 40s is what early indication shows by the end of next week. So if you can get out these next couple days, as we roll into next week, temperatures are going to cool right back off. We can see that in your 7-day forecast, at least the beginning of it. As noticed for the next really 6 days, temperatures are going to be in the 50s, lower 60s. Then on Tuesday, you see those 40s start to creep back in. Same thing for Kalispell with 58 today, a little cooler tomorrow behind that cold front. 50s though for the weekend, and 48 for a high Monday and Tuesday. Hamilton will see 50s and 60s through the weekend, then 50 on Monday, 50 again on Tuesday.
All right, nice looking weekend ahead. So
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yes, make plans to get out now.
All right, well, stick around because we'll be right back with much more. But first, here's some birthdays for you this morning.